everybody, and welcome back. My name is Steven Vincent, and this is my 1987 Pontiac Fiero GT, affectionately known as the Blur. What we're doing is installing a 2003 RSX K20 with a EP3 SI 5-speed into this car. And I think we're on about episode 15. So if you're stopping in for the first time, if you like what you see, please subscribe, give me that thumbs up, and leave some comments as to what you'd like to see during the build. I'm by no means a Honda guy, so I'm kind of learning as I go. So you Honda guys, I could really appreciate, let me rephrase that. You Honda guys, I'd really appreciate your input. So stay tuned and let's get to work. Alright, one of the things that we're getting ready to do in episode 15 is we're going to start mocking up the coolant hard lines, and it looks as if the Honda coolant routing is almost exactly the same as the Fiero. So driver side is the hot side, passenger side is the cold side. So we've got the upper part of the head on the driver's side of the Honda engine will drop right down to the existing, I believe it's 1.5 inch stainless steel hard pipe that runs on each side of the Fiero. So my son ordered some parts, and again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just a little guy. Not physically, but little channel. So anything I tell you, give you my opinion. It's my opinion alone. Nobody's influencing me or paying me to say anything different. So with that said, over the years, when it comes to, silicone hoses or mandrel bends, I usually always go to either Frozen Boost or siliconeintakes.com. And I believe they're one and the same. I'm not sure exactly, but everything on their sites look identical to the other one. So with that said, my son ordered some 1.5 inch aluminum mandrel U-bends. We got some J-bends, got a 90, couple of sections of straight. Well, what we have here should be enough to, get the coolant set up all buttoned up. Now you might be asking, well, why don't you just go to AutoZone or Pep Boys and get some, rubber hose that looks like it's going to fit? And I've done that in the past. There's no denying that that's actually a very cost-effective thing. But you see, I'm building the Blur for my oldest son, and he's stationed up in Alaska with the Air Force. And well, if he's going to be driving the car, I need to make it as simple as possible. So let's say a coolant line ruptures, coolant hose ruptures. Is he going to be able to just go to any parts store and say, do you have a hose that looks like this? Probably not. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to use Durafix, and I'm going to show you guys later on in episode 15 or 16 how we're going to expand the inside, slip them together, mark them, and then we're going to take them over using MAP gas and a product called Durafix, and we're basically going to aluminum braze these together. And I've done it before when I built a water-to-air intercooler setup for my 2012 WRX, and it held 20 plus pounds of boost, and of course, as you know, coolant system runs about 12 psi or less. So I don't really think this is going to be an issue. And then, like I said, later on, if he has a problem, all he's going to have to do is replace a short, straight piece of 1.5 inch inside diameter hose. It's just the easiest way to do it.
We need to do some work to my new compressor because I really don't like the way to drain the tank. So what I need to find is my monkey wrench. There it is. But mine is kinda broken. So let's see if we can get this piece out without too much. I'm about to make a big mistake. I hope I drain this, or I'm gonna be in for a big surprise, aren't I? Sounds empty. Yay! Look at this thing. Jeez, look at the dirt on it. Whoever uses these is stupid. It's such a piss poor design. Good riddance. Yeah. Oh, that's released. At least it's the same thread pitch. Hey! Job done. But it's gross. Alright, so let's test this girl and see if it works. A lot quieter than my Craftsman, huh? I think that's where the oil leak comes from. It needs new crush washer. Hey! Alright. Alright, so while that pumps up, let's show you guys what I've come up with. And turn this light off. What I've come up with to kind of keep me on track. What I'm doing. Alright, here's what we got. We did up a to-do list on the things I think that we need to do on the Fiero. Now that's excluding what we've already done. So as you can see, you got quite a big list to do. Now yes, you'll notice that we are going to put a turbo bung in the oil pan because Brian does plan on turbocharging this car. As soon as the compressor's done pumping up, I'm going to show you what our plan is to do this. That will be cool. So hold on just a minute. I'll see you in just a second. Alright. Now that the compressor's all done up, let me show you what the plan is, or what Brian wants. Okay, the tail lights on the Fiero that we have here, I don't know if you can see it well with this lighting, but they're delaminated pretty bad, which is very common on the GT tail lights, and they're really wavy. Alright, so what Brian wants to do, since we are putting in the K20 obviously, and I'm trying really, really, really hard not to give it that, you know, buzz bomb, raspy, terrible Honda with a fart can muffler on it sound. So what he wants to do, and it'll kill me to do it, because this is my baby. I've owned this car since the early 90s. What he wants to do, since the exhaust is on this side of the engine, luckily, we'd normally have to run it down like we did on my turbo car and go under this rail up into this space under here for the exhaust. What Brian wants is for me to tube this across, box it all in, cut this whole section out here, this whole thing, do up his muffler, blah, 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 and have his exhaust. He wants two pipes, come right through here, underneath the trunk latch, and exit right here. I think that would be badass. Now my friend Jesse, who I did some lemons racing with his insane LQ1 powered, which is a 3.4 twin dual cam V6, we used that as a race car, and the thing was never lacking power. But his car was built by some evil genius. And I want to duplicate what Jesse's car has, which is basically the tubular setup. Now Jesse sent me some pictures, so hopefully I'll put those in here. And it'll show you what I'm wanting to do with this back. So this back piece will be removable back here, but these tail lights are going to be mesh with, you know, your typical round Skyline type or Corvette type round LED tail lights, but this is all mesh, and we're going to duct it so the hot air from the engine bay will come out through these mesh tail lights. So essentially you'll be able to see in through the tail lights, which makes me want to put in a nice stainless muffler somewhere where you can see it, and then have the pipes come up from under. I don't know, we got to figure that out, but I think that would be wicked cool to do. I think that's what we're going to do, because now that I think about it, I like it. I know it sucks cutting up my baby, and then you lose all this trunk space, which I don't like losing, but it would be so cool to do. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Center exit exhaust right here. Just picture round, and we're talking like rolled tips, you know, something nice. That'll be badass. And I think, is it the what is it? The Focus ST has a really cool exhaust outlet. Maybe that's something we could put in here to keep in the theme of using parts from all these different cars. Because as you can see, what my car used to be had the Cadillac V8 in it that the guy took out and put in a stupid kit car. But anyway, that's going to be sick, and that's what we're going to do. Oh, I do need to pull the struts out, take the spring off, reattach the suspension, and go up and down through the motion. And I have to measure from the stub axle here and then the input shaft or output shaft there to each hub and do the measurement as it goes up and down. And then I can take that information, send it to the drive shaft shop, and they'll build our axles. So that's also something that I'm hoping we'll have in this episode or the following one. Just depends on if we get some other stuff done on the car first that has to be done, which is essentially just verifying everything's where it's supposed to be, everything's squared. I'd rather check it, recheck it, and then double check it, because I don't want to mess this part up, because it is a critical.